happy COVID-19 theme. It's been another day, already hard to believe. So here we are. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I have a nice little program prepared for today. I'm on the electric piano for tuning purposes, giving the old Steinway a rest. I mean, it was born 93 years ago. So here we go with our theme, and this would be Bird Fly By. There it is. I really like that song. It's got a beautiful lyric by Deirdre Broderick, which I have sung in the past. And it is the title song of the Bird Fly By CD. The only way to get this CD is to contact me on my email, russkjazzdirector@gmail.com. And I have to go pick up something over here. The old seat cushion. So I hope this finds you well and healthy and having had a great day yesterday. It was a beautiful day here in the Northeast. Today, it's going to get very cold, and we might actually get snow in a couple of days. Because, as I've been telling you, the Earth's axis has shifted. The government is not telling us. We didn't get any snow all winter, and I spent $800 on a snowcat. There you go. So we're in the portion of the program that is classical. Play a little bit of Berg, just so that you can't get it out of your heads. And of course, I'm sending a picture of this on the Steinway to Steinway. They're having some kind of a contest of show us what your Steinway looks like. And they'll publish the picture somewhere. But I got to get enough room to do it. Here's the first theme of the Alban Berg Sonata, Opus 1. that beautiful? I can remember being in college and trying to woo a young lady when she said to me, I will go out with you if you can play the Alban Berg Piano Sonata Opus 1. And ever since then, I've been trying to learn it. Here is the third movement, 3 consecutive days of movements of the Della Gioia Third Piano Sonata. Here's the theme. And here is the third movement. So now, 3 days in a row, you've heard Delajoyo movements. That's not a bad idea. I could do one movement of all of these suites that I tried to play. I have to do something here with the computer. I've got to quit a couple of programs. I'm having some trouble here. There goes one. Here goes another. What happens is that the RAM gets used up if I have too many programs open at the same time. And right now, I'm good. It should cool down this fan. Anyway, okay. So welcome everyone. I hope you're all safe and had a great day. Hello Dan, hello Dick, hello Stephen, hello Juliana. Bezos from Cleveland. You provide the soundtrack while I write Get Out the Vote postcards. Well, get out that vote. Make sure everybody votes. Why is it that one party is trying to prevent the other party from voting? Why is that? Hi, Gerald. Hi, Bonnie, cousin Bonnie. Great to see you. Okay, so today I've got a couple of really wonderful things, and I'm going to sing. And hopefully, in a minute or two, hold on just a second. I'm trying to quit a couple more programs. And one more that often give me trouble. Let's see if anything else is open. Oh, there's the one, finale. That's always a problem. As soon as that goes down, I should be good, and we should be happy, and the computer should be happy, and the fan should not be making so much noise. But it's all part of the show. This is the show. All right, the first tune up today. Oh, by the way, this is our 43rd consecutive day. That would be, I am a devout Met fan all the way back to 1962. I actually attended both, the only doubleheader that they won, both games in 10 innings, one on a home run by Duke Snyder and the other on a home run by Duke Carmel at the Polo Grounds against the Milwaukee Braves. How about that? They only won 40 games that year. They have so far won no games this year. So this is our 43rd consecutive. And I brought back Jack Jones as our special guest because I'm going to do one of the tunes that he recorded in 1963 that hardly anybody ever gets to hear. I'm going to see if I can figure that out. But that's not the first one. The first one is from the play Great Day. It had two songs that you know. One of them is Great Day, and the other one is this one. It was introduced by Gilbert Burgess Holland with the Fletcher Henderson Orchestra. That was the house band in this musical play on Broadway in 1929. Also in 29, of course, Bing Crosby recorded this song with the Paul Whiteman Band. And later, Billy Eckstine, 46, had a nice recording of it. And even later, Perry Como. And then everybody recorded it once people discovered it. It's by Vincent Yeomans and Billy Rose. The lyrics are by Billy Rose and Edward Elescu. I can't do this without a song. hardest part, landing on this. And I did. That was a 10 on the landing. So that was without a song. And I'm still hearing that fan. It's my biggest fan. So I may have to quit something else. Hold on just a second. I will get rid of a few things. Oh, I see what it might be. It might be this. That might have been it. And this definitely could have been it. And, oh, this could certainly have been it. I have so many things open at the same time. Hi, Christina. Welcome. Lovely day we have here in Monroe with no parks open. Hello, Stephen again. Hello, Michael. Hello, Paul. Ken Levinsky. Please go and visit Ken Levinsky every afternoon around 5 o'clock. He plays every song ever written, including his own. And he takes requests all day. It's like a what do you call it? Happy hour. And I don't take any requests. I won't take any requests. I'm done with the requests because you people have to get me. That's what this is about, getting me. I'm sharing myself with you. Anyway, but once in a while you can make a suggestion. And if it fits within my me, that's what it's all about. Let's see. Next up, Jack Jones, our very special guest, he brought his best today. This was recorded in 1963. It's a tune that it's kind of moderately familiar. A lot of jazz people tried to do it, or they did it in the 80s in a cabaret. And this is another similar situation where Paul Francis Webster's name pops up. He wrote the lyric to this. And Pete King, who was Jack Jones's music director for many albums prior to Doug Talbert, which means 63 back into the 50s, did an album with him called Bewitched. You know this tune? That was one of the few great individual moments I had with Frank Sinatra on stage, getting to play that alone with him, because there were too many wonderful full orchestra arrangements. It's still the fan. I don't understand why the fan is fanning. But anyway, maybe it's Fanny Flagg. Smile. Okay. So this is a tune that I'm going to have to figure out as I go along. So the first time through, I'm going to play it slow. I actually, back in the day being the late 70s, lived in an apartment in Park Slope. It was a floor-through railroad flat, huge. And this wonderful singer, Nancy Morano, used to come over and we used to record demos. I had like a 4-track Tascam cassette recorder, which I still have. Doesn't work, and all the things that I used to have, I still have, and I can't get them fixed because they don't make parts for anything anymore. But we recorded this tune. Nobody else was doing it at the time, except Jack Jones. Let's see if anybody... I don't have even another person recording this except Marlene Verplank. And we'll do a show on her one of these days soon. It's called The Mood I'm In. And just for the heck of it, I am not reading music. I'm reading the lyrics. I play from the lyrics, as I keep telling you. Okay, I wish I had worked that one out. That's kind of a weird tune, but it's a great lyric. Uh, I'm going the route single. Oh, don't look to find me caught up in that marital spin. Yet someday I may sight one who looks like the right one and waltz down the aisle with chagrin. You see, my disbelieving friends, it all depends on the mood I'm in. Paul Francis Webster. Anyway, so we're at the midpoint of this program. Hello, Lenny Rothbart. Hello, Ken Levinsky. Hello, Frankie. R.C. Mucci. You are so cool to listen to. Thank you. I wish I could play the piano like you. I love jazz. Thank you very much. Hi, Stephen Goldberg and Frankie. Sounded great. Okay, now this is kind of like a thing. Years ago, back in the days when we were doing club dates, we called them casual. Oh, they call them casuals on the West Coast. Private parties, weddings, bar mitzvahs, dances, setting up a band in the living room or in the party room or things like that. One of my favorite bass players to work with is Madeline Cole, and she appears in here, and I've made her aware that I'm going to do this today. And many years ago, I would say 15, 20 maybe, we were just warming up, and I sang this tune. The background of this tune is that Sinatra's go-to guy as an orchestrator for when he was down in the dumps and life was down at the bottom of whatever it could be. And that's a place I try to avoid musically at all costs. That's why I don't play Lush Life or songs like Goodbye or very sad things. And, you know, unfortunately, Billie Holiday comes to mind. People that have had tragic and sad lives and they express them through music. Well, if you want to go there, be my guest, but I'm not going to take you there with my music. And that's been a mission. Anyway, there are times, like one day a year, when I feel like that. So I revert to one of many Sinatra albums that are brutally sad, like Only the Lonely, No One Cares, those Capitol albums. But the best job of orchestration that Gordon Jenkins ever did was on a 1965 album of September of My Years. And one of the things that was great about it is that the sound of Sinatra's voice was the best, in my opinion, that it ever was. That was the guys in The Luck Be a Lady, My Kind of Town, I've Never Been in Love Before time of his voice, the way it sounded. But, he was down in the doldrums, he had his version of the blues. And Gordon Jenkins put together a great collection of songs. September of My Years was the name of the album. And it has September Song on it. This Is All I Ask. Don't Wait Too Long. It Gets Lonely Early, off the top of my head. Last Night When We Were Young. Those are killers. I mean, if you want to be sad and depressed and be soothed by music that's equal to that, there it is. Anyway, this one not so sad, but reflective with a promising ending. So I was just kidding around with Madeline and I sang it to her. And ever since, every time I've seen her and worked with her, she's wanted me to do this. So I'm going to sing it here. You're going to pardon me because I'm not a singer. And it's written by a fellow by the name of Howard Joseph Gustafson. And he wrote this song in 2004. It's called The Man in the Looking Glass. I've seen that face before, that face that I see in the mirror. I know that face, I've seen that face before. I knew that dopey guy when he didn't know how to tie his tie. He stood right there and he had hair galore. The man in the looking glass, who can he be? The man in the looking glass, can he possibly be me? Where's our young Romeo, the lad who used to sigh? Who's the middle-aged Lothario with a twinkle in his eye? He seems so much wiser now, less lonely, but then could be he's only pretending again. Smiling away, how's your sacroiliac today? was your first love affair, that tragedy d'amour, the true love you thought would be the end of you for sure. Man in the looking glass, have no regrets. The man who's wise never forgets that life is worth living once in a while. You just look in that looking glass and smile. Sinatra often said that I can't sing a song like that until I'm done crying. Well, you can really cry from that song if you really get into it and just listen to Sinatra do it. That would be more than enough. Okay, let's see if anybody's added to the festivities here. Oh, well, not too productive adding. Yes, I'm not going to record a vocal album. Although a friend of mine who was well, I'll have to skip this one because I can't remember the guy's name. Oh, Sid Bernstein. Sid Bernstein was a friend of mine, but another friend of mine, my lyricist, Deirdre Broderick, was a very close friend of his. And she produced, Sid Bernstein is the guy that brought the Beatles to America. He was the promoter, Shea Stadium, those kinds of things. He wanted to promote my big band at the end. He was coming to the big band concerts that I had at the Baha'i with Deirdre. But unfortunately, he was old and he passed away. But before that, Deirdre was able to produce an album of standards of Sid Bernstein Sings. I'm gonna get that out and see what he sang on that. I do have a copy of it. It's classic. It's as classic as Jimmy Durante singing "You Must Remember This." Anyway, it's springtime, and I was thinking that I don't get to play many of my own compositions. This is one I wrote while I was up in the Adirondacks in Upper Saranac Lake, a place called Hole Pond, in 2007. I just sat there on a couch with my little keyboard and my MIDI connection and my finale, and I wrote this tune, and it became a big band chart. And it's something that the guys have a great deal of fun playing. We do it as a combination samba merengue. It's called A Breath of Spring. Oh, please hold your excitement. That's a pretty cool tune. I wish you could all hear the big band do that. It's going to be pretty tough to get the big band together in the future. This virtual stuff really hasn't worked yet. It's kind of like having an old car cell phone. You know, the echo is like 15 seconds behind. And how are we going to get a big band together with 17 guys and like 13 of them have spit valves? And you can't even go to the dentist for a cleaning now. Anyway, I hope one day that will happen. So we are up to the final number of the day. And see if there are any more. Hey, Madeline, you came. Well, that was just for you. How about that? Love your tune, Juliana. Thank you. This encourages me to work on a few things I started. Well, we've got time. We've got lots of time. There are just too many things to start. And then there becomes piles of things. And then, what happens to the piles? That's actually a good name for a title. What happens to the piles? Here's another tune that I wrote, a really nice, if I must say, big band arrangement. Catherine Dupuis sings it in the Russ Kassoff Big Band. We have no recordings. I never had enough money to do that, and I'm too proud to do a GoFundMe. There are too many more causes, too many more worthy causes for GoFundMe than to hear somebody's music for the rest of your life frozen in a moment of time, because things evolve and things change. Anyway, I would have loved to have heard Berg play his sonata or Chopin play his. There are, recordings of George Gershwin playing and singing. That's the way those guys meant for it to be done. And then things evolve, and you take their stuff and you change it. There's something weird about that. Just like what I'm about to do with this Cole Porter song from the film Rosalie. The first person ever to sing this song was Nelson Eddy in 1937 in the movie. And let's see if I can come up with something nice to do with this in the still of the night. Well, I can hear the sound of one hand clapping. Please keep your seat. Two things I wanted to say before I forget. In the song that I sang, The Man in the Looking Glass, I announced that that was written by Howard Joseph Gustafson. And not a one of you came up with that clue to tell me who the composer was, what his real name was. Still, none of you did. So I am going to tell you that Howard Joseph Gustafson is Bart Howard, the guy who wrote Fly Me to the Moon, wrote The Man in the Looking Glass. So he could be on The Mask if he were still alive. And the other thing that came to mind is playing the still of the night like that is not the way Cole Porter imagined it. And it reminds me of the story about Sinatra singing at the Copa. He, in the late 50s, he was doing all those come something with me, come swing with me, come fly with me, come dance with me, come waltz with me albums one after another. And he had a Billy May arrangement, I believe it was on Come Swing With Me, of Lover. Lover. Anyway, he was singing that in his regular nightclub act, which happened to occur at the Copa back in those days in New York. And just looking at something. And Richard Rodgers was in the audience. So he sang that brilliantly swinging arrangement by Billy May. And he went over to Richard Rodgers and he said, Mr. Rodgers, how did you like the new arrangement? And he said to him, it's a waltz, you know. So you just can't make anybody happy. On the other hand, I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous program here. When I was playing at Windows on the World back in from 1976 to 79, solo piano every night, they were such the hot place to go, the in place, that they had their own public relations person. I remember the face, but I can't remember his name. Great guy. And he would come up to the piano every night when I started at 5 o'clock and put down a piece of paper with a list of all the luminaries that were going to come into the hors d'oeuvre, which is where I was playing, which they had raw fish and steak tartare. You know, there wasn't going to be any danger of a fire. And as if they're going to want to hear, like if Liza walked in, New York, New York. That's not the way it works with those folks because, as Liza would say, it's been done. But to accommodate them with the type of music or the type of composers that they might enjoy. And one night, I got a note that Mrs. Richard Rodgers was there. And for the entire night, I played all Rodgers tunes. And I went over and I met her, and she was very gracious and she was very nice. And the next day, I had delivered to me an 8x10 black and white photo of Richard Rodgers signed to me to Russ, thanks for taking care of my wife. So that was a real nice thing to do. He was near the end of his life and he was sickly, so he couldn't get out. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. I will be back tomorrow at 12:45. You know the drill. 5 o'clock, Ken Levinsky. 6 o'clock, Mike Greensill. And I'm sure you'll find other great people out there. Thank you so much. I wish you great health. Stay safe. Be well. Try to find a lot of positive things to do in your day. And I wish you what's happening with me. I don't have enough time in the day. I have so many things to do. I'll tell you, we've been at this for 40 days now. This is the 43rd day. I haven't even gotten to house cleaning. How about that? But it looks like there's going to be time. Anyway, be well. I'll see you tomorrow, 12:45, and thank you very much. Thanks again. Be well. Stay safe. See you tomorrow at 12:15, and shalom.